On the early morning hours of June 28, 1969, the New York City Police raided the Stonewall Inn in Greenwich Village. What followed was a series of riots and demonstrations from the LGBT community which would make history as the spark that reignited the gay liberation movement and the fight for LGBT rights in the U.S. But first, we have to understand the situation for LGBT people in New York at that time. The 1960s were not very welcoming to members of the LGBT community. Many gay behaviors, such as holding hands, kissing, and even dancing with a member of the same sex, were illegal in New York. For this reason, LGBT people went to gay bars and clubs for refuge, because they were a place where they could be free and socialize, and were welcomed by members of their community. Something most people don't know is that most gay bars in New York were operated by the mafia. By the mid-60s, the Genovese crime family operated most of the gay bars in Greenwich Village. In 1966, the Stonewall Inn was bought by them and cheaply renovated into a gay bar. It became very popular. Raids still happened, but they were usually tipped off by a corrupt police officer beforehand so they could prepare. But this time, when the raid happened, it came as a surprise. No one had tipped them off this time. At 1:20 a.m., police came to Stonewall Inn with a warrant. They roughed up patrons, found bootlegged alcohol, and arrested 13 people, including employees and suspected cross-dressers. They even had to check people's sex in the bathrooms. But this time, instead of dispersing, people got out and hung around the bar. Arrested people were roughly handled and shoved into the police vans. They were arguing and fighting with the police officers. At one point, an officer hit a lesbian, Stormy DeLarvery, over her head after she complained her handcuffs were too tight. She then shouted at the people to do something, and this was what presumably caused the crowd to fight. People then started to throw pennies, bottles, and rocks at the officers. In mere minutes, a full-blown riot had started with hundreds of people. There are multiple accounts of people saying that this wasn't organized, and of people saying it was like something opened up in them. Michael Fader explained, "We all had a collective feeling like we'd had enough of this kind of stuff. We weren't going to be walking meekly in the night and letting them shove us around. It's like standing your ground for the first time, and in a really strong way. And that's what caught the police by surprise. There was something in the air, freedom a long time overdue, and we're going to fight for it." The police and some prisoners barricaded themselves into the inn, which the mob then tried to set on fire. After the firefighters and riot squad arrived, they managed to put out the flames, rescue the people inside, and disperse the crowd. But these riots continued over the next 5 days, involving thousands of people. Something had changed in everyone. After the second riot, a message appeared on the Stonewall Inn window. "We homosexuals plead with our people to please help maintain peaceful and quiet conduct in the streets of the village. Mattachine." These riots are said to have reignited a spark in the gay rights movement. It marked a turning point in history for the LGBT community. After the riots, organizations like the Gay Liberation Front were founded. On the one-year anniversary of Stonewall, thousands of people marched through Manhattan from the Stonewall Inn to Central Park to commemorate Christopher Street Liberation Day in what is now considered America's first gay pride parade. The month of June was chosen as LGBT Pride Month to commemorate Stonewall, and 2 presidents have declared it official Pride Month, Bill Clinton and Barack Obama. In 2016, President Obama made the site of the riots a national monument. And today, same-sex marriage is legal in 29 countries, including Costa Rica, all thanks to a little gay bar in New York. Happy Pride!